NFL's getting tired of NBA guys whining about the refs. In the NFL, if you complain about the refs, they give you a huge fine. Like coaches even complain about refs, big fine. In college football, you complain about refs, big fine. Some of the NBA guys, you read the stories this morning, Carmelo, I'm done with the refs, and Westbrook, these refs. It's like the refereeing's the fabric of a sport, right? Like, you can't mess with the refs. If people start thinking the league is fixed and games are fixed, it's not, obviously. I mean, it's amazing if you go to social media how many goofballs think the leagues are fixed. Yeah, like the NFL was rooting to have Blake Bortles in the AFC Championship. You bet they were. They're rooting for Nick Foles and Case Keenum. If the league was fixing games, you'd have Drew Brees and Matt Ryan facing Tom Brady and Big Ben. Like, you can't make people think the league is fixed. When I hear all these players in the NBA whining about officials, be very careful. That is the fabric, the tapestry of the league. The glue that holds it together is we think everything's on the up and up. You know, the minute that's gone and you don't think it's on the up and up, you become like international soccer. You know, you become like, I'm not sure if this refs may have a couple hundies on this game. Like that's what hurts international soccer, is there's so much constant sense of why are they playing here? Why did that guy get that call? That's a fake flop foul. Like, you stop banging on the refs. The refs are fine. Refs aren't perfect, but the refs are fine. Car shopping can be confusing. Dealer price, list price, invoice. There's a lot of terms people don't even know what they mean. TrueCar.com's the place to go. New or used car, you see what other people paid for the car you want. Christine with the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herdline News.
The Browns are reportedly interviewing Ben McAdoo for their offensive coordinator position.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I think he's a good coordinator. I think a lot of... Haven't you ever had bosses like... And this sounds harsh, but I've had bosses before that are really good vice presidents, but I wouldn't want them, like, running something.
Yeah,
I think
they're a good producer, but not a good news director.
Right, exactly. The news director has to... The brains are wired differently. The best sales guy is usually not the best general manager.
Right, yeah.
Right. The sales guy's a little crazy. He's got a little party guy in him. He can shake hands, high five. The general manager, you want to bed going early, dealing with all the egos. I think Ben McAdoo's great, too. I just don't think he's a one.
Okay, so maybe this will work out for him.
Yeah.
He'll be a good fit.
Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger saying, apparently to his teammates, that he wants to play at least 3 more years, which would lead me to believe this has something to do with maybe Todd Haley being on his way out.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin was doing his press conference today, and he was asked about Roethlisberger and Haley's relationship and whether he was comfortable with it.
Ooh.
I'm gathering information on all relationships and things of that nature. That's what this assessment is about. So I'm not ready to state opinions about the nature of any of our relationships, whether I'm assessing it in terms of what transpired or what's going to transpire moving forward. That's the process that I'm in right now.
So he's going to do an investigation into that, and then maybe we'll see some firings pretty soon?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think it's pretty clear what's happened. Terry Bradshaw said this yesterday. We also had Bruce Arians on.
Right.
Ben doesn't like to be yelled at, which I totally get. So I had high school coaches that yelled at me. I was totally comfortable with it. But I had a teammate that wasn't. Ben does not like to be yelled at, and Haley is a confrontational yell-scream guy. And so what happens, let's say I was a screamer and a yeller, and you didn't react well to it. So if I scream and yell, you move away from me.
Right.
You drown me out. And what I think what's happening, Christine, is there's like a fissure in this relationship, and Ben's just drowning him out. Like the minute Todd walks in a room, Ben's like, I'm backing off. And I just don't think it's different. You say, well, Brady and Josh McDaniel. Well, Brady's coachable. Brady, according to my people that I know, you can yell at Brady. Like, Belichick's been barking at him for 15 years, so when Josh yells at him and they yell back, that works. But not every relationship. Haley is an intense, confrontational guy, and I have now 2 sources that have told me Ben doesn't like it. He's not into that kind of relationship.
And you have to adjust.
Yes.
You do. Another piece of this that's kind of interesting that's coming out is there's a small group of Steelers limited partners that are trying to lobby for Art Rooney to fire Mike Tomlin and hire a new head coach. And they do have a pipeline to Art Rooney. So I don't know how powerful these limited owner people are, but they're trying to do that.
I think Mike there are assets with Mike Tomlin. I think as the game has become more situational in my lifetime, that is not his strength. I think he's a very emotional coach. His teams are emotional, very star-dependent. Could I also make this argument? If you just took Belichick, the best coach of my life, and Brady out of the AFC, Mike Tomlin wouldn't be dealing with all this heat all the time because that's the team he can't beat.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think some of this is just, Phil Mickelson's one of the best golfers of my life. His peak years were Tiger Woods' peak years. You take Tiger out, Phil's probably got 6 more majors. So some of the Tomlin criticism, I don't think he's a lousy coach. I think he's a coach that has strengths and weaknesses. And I think Belichick unveils those weaknesses to people like me and the television audience where you can see they're not always really buttoned up. And the New England Patriots are always buttoned up.
And finally, yesterday in the Knicks game and Oklahoma City, or excuse me, just this is Oklahoma City, Russell Westbrook went up to try to score a layup.
Yeah.
And De'Aaron Fox kind of hit him.
Yeah.
Not intentionally. So Westbrook went down holding his face. And then the ref called him for traveling. So he was upset and he got up and then he got another technical. And the double technical means he's ejected.
Right.
So he left the game afterwards and did not speak to the media. But Carmelo Anthony did. And he was sticking up for Westbrook and complaining about the refs.
Last week, you mentioned that the referees are quickly pull the trigger.
Yeah, I'm done with them. I'm done with the ref.
Talk about how special it was.
Not to. I'm done with those refs.
I think he's saying
I love the reporter that just goes right into talk about how special it was and trying to switch the subject real quick. Like, no, let him talk. That was a bad call for me. The double tech for that. I don't like that.
I don't like it. Yeah, I mean, everybody always listen. Russell Westbrook averages almost 30 a game. The refs aren't crushing him. He's a really good player who gets to the free throw line a ton. And I think you have to be, as a commissioner of a league, very aware of players ripping the refs all the time. I think it's a bad look for a league.
I agree, but I mean, what are you supposed to do? To say I'm done with the refs, that's taking it a little too far. But the guy was going in for a layup, got hit in the face, and you're going to call him for traveling. Okay, maybe I'm okay with that, but then he gets up and he's upset, and you're going to give him a double tech and eject him?
I don't know.
I think that's excessive.
Let refs ref, you play, coaches coach, GMs GM.
So should we just let everyone do their job even if they're really bad at it and make terrible mistakes?
We know that to get to the NBA as a ref, you have to be good. I actually know 2 NBA refs. It's hard.
It is hard, but it's also your job. It's really hard to do our jobs, but if we weren't good at it, I'm sure we would get fired.
Yeah, I'm not always good at it. Today I'm a little off.
Just today. You got 7 hours of sleep.
I know. Christine with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Line News.
All right, here's the bet I made on the air last week with Michael Rapaport, actor, producer, comedian, writer, podcast host. Here it is. Roll the tape, Sam. I'll bet you a dinner at Mastro's. Steelers win by more than a touchdown.
Oh, absolutely. We're gonna
don't be chintzy. I got 10 seconds.
I mean, I'm not gonna be chintzy, and I'm gonna starve myself for 5 days before we go because you're gonna be paying. I mean, steak, lobster, and everything on the table.
Come on, slow down.
I'm gonna get nuts in there.
1 small sirloin and a glass of water.
No, we're getting wacky in there. Tell the people at Mastro's Rapaport's coming with an appetite.
All right, here we go. Bring him out, Michael Rapaport.
Is this dinner happening tonight?
No, it's not happening. It's not happening tonight. Listen. I'll be lucky if it happens at all, but I'm going to tell you something right now.
That's true. Very true.
I'm going to tell you something right now, Colin. And look at me in the face when I tell you this.
All right.
I ain't no cheap date. Okay? We're not getting chintzy, my man. I'm talking about lobster, shrimp cocktail. I'm talking about a pasta appetizer. I'm talking about a tomahawk steak.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Oh, that's
and then
like
I'm talking about lobster tails.
Wine.
And they're getting boiled. You know, there's a whole thing in the world right now about like they banned boiling lobster in
That's
Switzerland.
really cruel. It's cruel.
It's cruel. What's the alternative? To let them die of old age?
No, it's a swift death. You don't need to boil them alive.
You should hit them over the head with a hammer. So either boil them or hit them over the head with a hammer. Listen. This is crazy.
Oh,
I'm
and
eating
butter
my
cake.
lobster.
You have some butter cake too.
Let me tell you something. The what?
Butter cake.
butter cake. I'm going to try a whole bunch of different desserts.
I'm vegan now. I'm not going to do any of this stuff.
Well, you're going to watch me eat, my friend, okay?
Okay.
It's going to be a romantic dinner at Mastro's, and we're going to be in a special table, and it's going to be long. I'm going to pick your brain about sports.
There's not much up there. There's not much picking. I mean, seriously, after the Patriots and LeBron, I'm out of gas. I got nothing to say.
It took him 7 months to pay off.
I'm looking at it like a 32-minute dinner, glass of water. I'll have a chopped salad. You have a steak. We're on our way.
No, my friend, that's not going to. It's not going down like that. The people at Mastro's know I'm coming, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be starving myself for 3 to 4 days beforehand. So when I get to that dinner, I'm going to be chomping at the bit.
And that's not healthy. All right, so here's a video we have of you. I don't know what happened, but you weren't watching the last 12 seconds of the Saints-Vikings game. Let's roll the tape. Hide your ears if you're offended easily.
To try and knock and keep it in bounds.
What the f*** happened?
To tackle.
I left for 2 seconds.
To keep in the field of play, they took a poor angle.
Oh, boy.
Instead of spinning to the outside to get out of bounds, he's
what the f***?
Puts his hand on the
that
ground.
was.
What the f***?
Oh, yikes.
What the f***?
All right, I get the point. So why did you? So you saw the Saints lead, and you were going to the grocery store or something?
I was at a little cafe. Watching the game on my phone and listening on a friend's phone. And when the Saints went ahead, I have the videotape of it. Everything I do is videotape. Can somebody here cue that videotape, please?
Everything you do is videotaped?
Yeah, my whole life is like a reality show, except I don't get paid. This is the field goal. Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of swearing.
Yeah.
I'd like you to use other words.
Let me tell you something. Yes. So what happened, Colin, is I walked from that cafe, skipping, jumping. Yes, the Saints are going to go to Philadelphia. They're going to beat Philadelphia. They're going to go to the Super Bowl, like we discussed on this show too. And then I heard. I swear, I was like, I must have been down the street from a sports bar. I heard screaming and yelling. Like I literally heard like almost like a panic, like ah!
In my neighborhood, I was sitting in my room by myself. My wife had taken the kids to Universal. I had my window open in my media room. I heard in the neighborhood people yelling during this play. Like it was literally like the World Cup's the only other time that's happened. I heard people screaming, touchdown Vikings in my neighborhood.
So I heard that too. And while I was transitioning from the phone to the car to the Bluetooth, that's what was the reaction of the what the F.
Okay, so I got a question for you. I want to shift to this on LeBron.
You should be asking me questions. You know why? Because I'm the guy that wins the bets when he comes on the show. So, yes, what do you want to know, sir?
Okay, so you have been – where were you born?
In New York City, Manhattan, New York Hospital, 1970. Dr. Gribbets yanked me out of my mother.
Okay, that's terrific. So so when you were yanked out of your mother, you have had a history of you have moved for commerce, you have moved for the better job, you've had acting roles, you have been a mobile American.
I'm a mobile American.
Yes.
I'm a high-level acting beast. I mean, my career spans 20-something years.
And in that time, you have left for opportunity.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I would applaud. Can we have a light applause for the opportunities taken by Michael Rapaport? Yet this morning,
this is a setup, I feel like.
Yet this morning, I'm told you would be against LeBron James leaving this mess in Cleveland.
He created it. This is his mess. He went back home. There was commercials. There were songs. They won a championship, and now it's over. And I got to be totally honest. LeBron James should be the MVP, should be in consideration. I think him and Kevin Durant, quietly Steph Curry, we've taken for granted everything he does.
Yeah.
I don't think any Golden State Warrior in this team will win an MVP because it's such a team environment.
They can win without each other for stretches.
Yes. LeBron's ridiculous. That being said, I actually felt sorry for him last night.
Why?
He's mixed. He's moved. He brought in his old comrade from the Miami Heatles. He made some great plays last night. The ageless Dwayne Wade. It ain't happening. They're going to get to the finals, barring injury. They're going to get. It ain't going to be a gentleman's sweep like last year.
No,
that was a gentleman's sweep. That was friendly fire. We'll do it to you in 5 games, and that's like hitting the head of lobster.
Right.
Okay, that's not this year. They're cooking them. They're going to boil. The Cleveland Cavaliers, 4 straight games, and it's going to be easy work. They can't beat them.
No, I've watched these matchups, and I got to be honest. I thought Cleveland gave them a very good 2.5 quarters. LeBron was engaged defensively. They played very hard. But I got to tell you, it is so obvious that Golden State kind of You know what's happening now?
Yeah.
You know how LeBron coasts against the East
Yep.
and we criticize him? Golden State feels like they coast against Cleveland.
We got you. And Kevin Durant, quietly, he wants to make it so the first thing we talk about when I come out on a segment is Kevin Durant. He wants to, I'm going to bury LeBron James. I'm the guy. I'm the X factor. I'm the reason why you're never winning against Golden State again. And he's not saying it. He doesn't mess around on social media. But Kevin Durant is quietly like, we're gonna beat you. And the Sean Livingstons and the David West and the Swaggy P's. I mean, and the Klay Thompson, who just sort of goes under the radar all the time.
Yeah.
They got their number.
Golden State feels like they're doing to LeBron what LeBron is doing to the East, which is we can kind of play at 80% speed. We turn it up. Last night it was literally on cue.
Yep.
Late third, early fourth. Let's separate, end the drama, and suddenly the basket got tiny for Cleveland. They couldn't make a shot. Let's go back to the NFL. Michael Rapaport. Okay, next hour, Tony Gonzalez, Jason Whitlock. Jags getting 9.5 points. The last 15 times, Vegas has made the Patriots a double-digit favorite. Not only have they won the games, they've covered the spread 12 of 15 times. This is Vegas telling you this is going to be ugly. I mean, I know everybody loves the Jags this morning. 9.5 points, Michael, for the AFC Championship. That is what you give Buffalo going to Foxborough in October. That's a blowout.
I mean, what do you think is going to be the outcome of this game?
You know what I think is going to happen is that Jacksonville looks in the hotel lobby great. It's the 4th out of the 5 weekends they've been on the road. They're coming off their biggest win in franchise history in a decade.
Oh, I know. Because I'm going to...
Yeah, whatever.
I know.
So, and the point being is they're just not going to be able to attain that emotional level, and New England wins it going away.
They're an embarrassment of riches, the Patriots. They're like a 17-headed beast. Rex Burkhead is back. Chris Hogan's catching balls. Brandon Cooks is sort of just there. Gronkowski's healthy. Tom Brady's healthy. Listen, as much as I would like to see the Patriots grovel and in pain and not even make it to the Super Bowl,
they're in.
They're going to win. I mean, Brady might get touched. He might get knocked around. This might be a competitive. I think this is going to be a competitive game.
For a while. Here's the other thing. Bortles was 5 for 5 in the red zone against Pittsburgh. Because I called a buddy in Vegas. I said, why is the line 9.5? He goes, Jacksonville was perfect offensively. No turnovers. Great on third down. 5 for 5 in the red zone. He says, all you have to do is go 4 for 4 in the red zone. And he goes, 3 times you get to the red zone, let's say. And you settle for a field goal over a touchdown. He goes, that's 12 points. This 9 points seems big. He said, listen, Jacksonville was perfect.
They played perfect.
They were perfect. And it's like they still struggle to hold on for dear life.
I think that if Leonard Fournette and his foot were in perfect shape, I think that the Jaguars could beat them. But I'm really concerned about his foot because in the second half of the game, when he came back, he did not look like himself. He played through it, but he was a beat slower and he wasn't moving as well. I think if he was full-fledged, they could beat them, this coming Sunday. But I think Leonard Fournette is in a lot of pain. And for a running back, a foot, there's no hiding that.
Yeah. All right, Michael Rapaport, got a steak. We'll go to Mastro's. I'm going to set a time limit on it.
Can we please do that? Can we please set a time limit?
No, 40 minutes is all.
You can't even. No, you won't even get your wine.
I'll go 4 corners. I'll stall because I know if you give him an hour and a half, it's going to be a $492 bill.
That's
cheap at
cheap,
Mastro's.
my friend. That is cheap. You should hope it's only $492. And I'm going to tell you something right now. You're saying you want to give it a time limit. I want to give it a time limit on when I get paid. Like, should it be before the next time I come back? Do I start striking? Do I make this into a public thing? Be like, yo, Colin Cowherd doesn't pay his bets.
Okay,
what do I need to do to get this done?
First of
You
all,
got to make it real public. 7 months, Goulet waited.
I'm making it public.
Okay, I'll make you a deal. My wife leaves town like Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay.
So let's do Thursday night.
Thursday night dinner.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Now, first of all.
Oh, my God. This is going to be so great. This is going to be so great.
It's not going to be that great.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic.
Not really.
Thursday night, date night with Colin. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to go get a nice shirt.
Oh, come on.
I'm going to get a nice shirt. Please, can someone here make the reservation now? I want a really intimate table.
And ask them for the vegan menu. All right, Michael Rapaport, actor, producer, comedian, podcast giant. It's The Herd.
And